And good afternoon. We're sitting today with the Acuna brothers, Patrick and Michael of Dubious Distinction. Guys are going to be with us on the 18th. Now you've been at the Tudor House quite a bit here this year.
Yes.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with the Tudor House.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of the customers, they like your groove. You do a lot of original stuff. You also do a lot of covers. How do you kind of judge where you're going with your play sets?
Typically for us, what we'll do is we'll develop a set list beforehand, thinking of all the songs from all the shows that we play, which ones seem to really gather the crowd, which ones make the crowd dance. And we'll typically put those spaced out so there's enough time for them to hear something they weren't familiar with in between those songs that they like to dance to. Mm-hmm. And then we'll throw in covers every now and again that kind of catch and keep them up songs.
Do it with a little Dubious on top of the
yes,
cover there. Right?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Dubious cover.
We love when the crowd dances.
Now, Patrick, a lot of people talk about your sax play, and you might be surprised by that because you don't really play the sax a lot up there on stage, but when you do play it, people notice. You got anything planned for the 18th? Anything spotlighting you a little bit?
Yeah, it just seems like there's not enough horn,
I know.
So, talked with the band, and I guess we're gonna throw out a trumpet, we're gonna throw out a saxophone, and we're gonna throw out a trombone, anything else we could throw in there just to add a creation of a horn section, if you will. And we found a really big response with anyone listening to our music when we threw in the live horns versus the computer generated keyboard horns.
Oh yeah,
it's just a night and day.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. We rarely get horns up here on stage, and when we do, it like Seville Street will bring one, and a couple of other bands will bring, but only certain nights will they bring a horn. It's like a treat, It's like getting ice cream, once a week or something like that. We had 32 strings up here a few weeks ago, and they added a real beautiful tone in the room. How do you find the room to be?
I'd say the acoustics. It is a smaller room, but it's really where the defining thing is the sound level that you play at on stage. Because it's one thing to play in there, but when you play in there, the acoustics come from within that little area, and with a hollow stage and that small room, it kind of sounds fine to you in there, but then when you're out on the floor looking in, it's a totally different sound. So it can almost be two different sounds being on stage versus being off stage. So I think the acoustics are unique in there in that it's kind of hard to try to blend the two, but it makes it challenging. I think David does a really good job with putting that sound out there.
Oh yeah, the sound crew is really good.
Oh, thank you.
Because it makes it's a smaller venue, so it's an intimate venue. Yeah. But you can make an intimate sound really awesome at the same time.
I know you guys have really changed your sound, because the first time you came, it was like your drums were way too loud, and the sound really wasn't right at all. And then you'd come back, just the two of you a few times, and you brought Bob a couple of times. Now you got the full set, and the sounds together like last Saturday night. The sound really came together, and there wasn't any loud this or off that or whatever, so you really kind of worked the room well.
Yeah, it's the evolution of it.
Yeah.
Every track runner starts off crawling.
Yeah.
Then you learn to walk, and then you learn how to control your speed and your breath, and it's as we grow, each one of us as musicians individually and as an entire group, we're really starting to see what it is that we're trying to do, and we're really blending well with one another. And again, a lot of that has to do with working in conjunction with the sound guys. Mm-hmm. That really makes a huge difference.
Well, great. Well, that's really great. And congas last time, and we're looking forward to what you bring on the 18th. We really like the sound you guys have been putting together. Once again, Patrick, Michael Acuna, part of Dubious Distinction.